This video is going to help you stop dragging the ball. We're going to go through a number of different situations, slow and fast, because they all require a little bit of a different technique to stop you dragging it in specific situations. There's so many different positions and situations where these drags happen. So I'm going to give you some quick tips to help stop that and make sure that we're hitting the target when we get that opportunity to score. So say I've received the ball, I've opened up, I see the opportunity. Now, in order to stop dragging the ball, we've got to think about, again, think about yourself in a match. You're focused on this situation here. You're not always focused on where the keeper is, where the defenders are. You think, can I get this shot off? And if we rush or snatch at it, that's where we end up dragging the ball. So I want you, a good tip is watch the way the ball's spinning. If you can think about, say I've received it from here, bang, I've shifted out of my feet, bang, and I'm watching this ball spinning. All I'm thinking is, where on the ball do I need to hit that to take the spin out of the ball? Now, if I hit it this side, the ball's gonna spin back the other way, so that's not what I want. If as I shift it there, I hit it more on this side of the ball's gonna spin away. So that's not what I want. And I know it sounds simple, but if you have that focus, when that ball's running away from you and you're not thinking about scoring or hitting like where you're gonna put it, if you have that focus, you get the connection. So it's touch, where do I need to strike that? Just there, bam. And then it's not gonna drag, okay? My body's locked in, I'm not snatching at it, I'm watching and waiting for that spin, I'm waiting for the timing to strike through it, and then I get that straight trajectory. Another thing I want you to take into consideration here is, in order to score goals, they're not always going to be the perfect opportunity. So you might open up, shift the ball, be watching that spin, and then see defenders coming at you. Now, if you start thinking, oh no, it's going to hit him, it's going to, you know, I'm going to have to take a bit off it, and you change that thought process, you're never going to score. Now, I know sometimes there's situations where you might have to step past someone, but in order to get the shots off regularly, to hit them clean, once you commit, you commit. So if you receive it, bam, you shift it, bam, you're watching that spin, and they're coming at you, still commit to that strike. If they block it, they block it. Now, the next thing to think about, once you're locked in and you're watching that spin, is this could be far out, it could be close in. Don't think about the goal being 20 yards away, 15 yards away. Imagine it's just 2 or 3 yards away. So as you shift it, the same direction that the goal's in for you, the same way you want to hit it, you're just focused on, if I get this ball traveling the first 3 yards in the right direction, it's going to travel 20 yards in the right direction. If you miss that initial connection, it goes off the line wrong, that's where the hips go, you end up dragging it. So get yourself locked in, especially around the edge. Get yourself locked in when you're central, watch the spin, strike through it, commit to it, and you'll start hitting that target more often, which leads to more goals. So now we've worked on the central areas of dragging it when the ball's, you're in a central position and you're overturning the hips. Now, the most common area that drags happen is on the outside of the box when you're trying to hit it across goal and you overcommit and drag it across the box. So we're going to work on a few different situations of how you can navigate not dragging it and hit that bottom corner when you want it. Okay, so the first one. So say we've received it in here, there's two different ways we've got to think. You're either running at pace in here or you're a bit slower in your movement. So if you're a bit slower in your movement, say you've received it and you've shifted it, a good way to stop dragging it is preparing the body early. So if I shift it in here now, what I'm thinking, obviously if I strike through this, naturally my hips are going to come across and my foot's going to turn in. So this is about the foot position. Now if you watch the best players doing this, they're almost brushing across the ball and then the inside of the foot ends up pointing away. Okay, so it's not like a straight strike where you're releasing the same position. The foot comes across, the ball releases. Now the important thing on this one is we're still hitting it on the laces. It's not on the inside. We're still same part of the foot. It's just the follow through and the approach. We're going to receive the ball. We're on this angle. We're shifting it. We're running round it and we're striking through that ball to get that straight hit across goal. On the angle, shift, running round the ball, straight hit. We're trying to, the main thing here we're talking about, remember, is we're not dragging it. So it's the foot position, it's the body position, and it's the commitment to strike. So a lot of people in this situation, what will happen is they'll shift it out their feet and they'll get that one where they're catching it on the inside and almost dragging it across like that because they're using the wrong part of the foot and they're not preparing the body in the right position. The final example, the final two examples I want to show you are, the first one there is when you're shifting it and you've got a bit of time and space to manipulate your body. Now that's not always the situation. The second one is if, for example, you've shifted it and the ball's, say you're running with it and the ball's running away from the goal. This is another situation where the ball's running away from the goal and people try and snatch at that ball and end up getting around it too much and dragging it across goal. So a great, quick, simple tip here is you're in the box, you pass the defender, you can't really be touched there. It's going to be a penalty. So if you get across, just use that space to straighten the ball up. Little touch, you've got the time, you can hold the defender off. Now that ball's traveling straight and at a different trajectory, you can then bring that foot across it like we just spoke about back there and hit that strike, or lace it back across goal. So you might be, again, just to give you an example, you might be shifting it, you might go one-on-one with someone, you push it on the outside, instead of dragging it there, you just have that little straight touch, and then you can get across it and hit that arrow across the box. So that straight touch is very important to just understand the way the ball's moving to get the best connection. Moving on to the second one, if we've just run past someone and we're at pace now, so you've pushed it, now you're moving quick. Finishing's so different whether you're moving slow or you're moving fast. It's different techniques. You'll see a lot of times super fast players, if they're a good finisher, they're the best in the world. Some super fast players are known as not the best finishers because it's harder to decelerate, to change direction if you're moving so fast. If you're running quickly, you have to understand, okay, I'm traveling at pace. My body, again, is probably gonna try and find balance as I go onto that one leg to hit it, so I can take a little bit off it. So instead of really committing, you're watching that spin of the ball again. Okay, so you're running fast, bang, in here, you're traveling at pace, watching the spin through the, whoa. We're trying to hit through the back of it, that's the key, okay? So if we take it to the end position of it, again, what we want to think about is not get too emotional. We're pushing it, we're running fast, I'll pretend to run fast. We're running fast. If I'm watching the spin of this ball, all I'm thinking is if I get my foot round the back of it in the right position, I've not even looked up, I know that's going in the right place. Bang. If I'm sort of just worried about hitting the goal and my head comes up and then I'm decelerating and then I've got loads to think about, that's when you can end up losing balance. If you keep running fast, locked on the ball, watch the part of the ball you want to hit with it, bang, I'm watching where I want to hit, bang. I'm gonna slap it in that far corner. So, recap on that drag. If we're at the edge of the box and it's a bit more of a slow situation with a bit more space, we're thinking about adjusting our body and we're thinking about that cutting across technique where the foot's following through and the ball's releasing a little bit differently. On the second one, we're thinking about, is the ball moving away from the goal? Can I just straighten the touch up? So again, that line of the ball's in a better position, in alignment with my body, and I can strike through it. And then the third one, again, if we're traveling at pace, instead of just focusing on the goal and getting off balance, if we can put our eyes and our focus on the right part of the ball that we want to connect with and just focus on that as we travel at pace, the body's going to come through nicely and we're going to put it exactly where we want it.